Hello, everyone. This is Michelle Baker. I am the Director of Global Sales Development. I am an international keynote speaker and an expert confidence coach. And this is the Women of Sales and Influence, sponsored by the National Association of Sales Professionals. And this is our bi-weekly Lunch and Learn. And today we have with us another amazing guest, Ada Barlatt. She actually is a tech genius, tech savvy, like guru, seriously. She is literally the woman I go to when I am having a tech problem or challenge with finding myself stuck in not doing something, especially that follow-up. And I'm learning more and more. There's so much opportunity out there to utilize tech and have it on your side, right? So that follow-up process can be just as fun and fulfilling as it was when you started, right? Because it's always fun when you meet the client, when you talk to them, when you get them to say yes, right? Or when you get them to think about the next step. So what do I do now, right? Oh my God, I got so many emails, right? Now it's not fun. Well, Ada is really amazing at helping you keep it fun throughout that whole cycle. So Ada, I'm going to give you the floor. As I always do with Women in Sales and Influence, I ask my guests and women to introduce themselves, because this is a learning space. This is how we learn to brag upon ourselves, to be confident and bold in who we are. So I do not introduce. I allowed you guys to do it because we get to model amazing women like yourself. So the floor is yours.
Excellent, excellent. Well, first, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. And I have prepared something great for us to discuss. So do you see my slides?
Yes, I do.
Excellent, excellent. So today we're going to talk through this presentation. It's called Discover Your Tech Tools to Help You Fix Your Follow-Up Frustrations. And my name is Dr. Ada Barlatt, and I will introduce myself in a little bit in more detail, but just know that I'm really excited to share with you information about tech in general, but also how we can use technology to really make our follow-ups fun, as you mentioned. So let's get into it. So as business ladies and professionals, we all know that nurturing relationships is a huge key to our business growth and our success. However, you may know, or you may have heard about technology, you may have heard about apps or your friends and networking groups, but not everyone has the background that I have that I'll share with you in a moment. And you may find that tech is a bit foreign and frustrating. You might find it as a whole new language. It might be a whole new thing for you. But you know that you want to spend your money and your time wisely. We only have so much time, as Michelle has mentioned to me many times. And it's really important for us to use that wisely. And so if you're in that situation, I'm here to let you know that I can definitely be your ally if you're looking to make the most of technology in your business in general. Today we'll talk about follow-ups in particular. But specifically, I can help you answer some particular questions. The first is, what tech and automation can help your business? So what software, apps, and tools, and how can you automate some of the tasks in your day-to-day so that you can grow your business and use your time in other areas? And then also, once you've maybe made some selections, or maybe you all are using some technology and apps in your day-to-day right now, how do you make the most of it? So picking the tech is one thing, but once you've selected the tools that you want to use and the tools that you're using, often I find that small business owners are not maximizing their use. They all have new features coming out all the time, and they have new tools and new integrations, and I really love helping people recognize that they can get some more value from the tools they've already invested in. So now I do want to give you a little bit of background information on me. My name is Ada, and my background is in engineering. And right now, I describe myself as a fun-loving tech professional. I do really love technology and systems and apps, and I hope to bring the fun to each person that I work with in terms of helping them find the right tools for them. And I am a complete geek, self-described in terms of systems and processes. So I mentioned I was an engineer. My discipline in engineering is called industrial engineering, and I have a bachelor's all the way up through a PhD in it. So I'm definitely a geek. And industrial engineers are the types of engineers that are really interested in helping organizations build systems so that they can be more efficient and effective, so that they can serve the people that they serve more effectively, and that they can make the most of the time and the money, the energy, and the resources that they put into running their business. So I've got a long history in this academic discipline. I've got experience in a variety of industries, from manufacturing to healthcare, even in theme parks. And I've been working with small business owners for the last several years, helping them create ease through technology. So this isn't a matter of imposing tools on you that you don't need. It's a matter of finding where are the parts in your business that are stressful, that are frustrating, that you want some more ease to be brought into your life, and find the right tech tools to help you find that ease. So I'm super excited to chat with you today and to share with you some of the tools that I love, and some of the mindsets. Really, the most important part in my view are the mindsets on tech that hopefully I'll introduce you today that will help you find some ease. So for those of you that are here, I see that we have some people in the Zoom room. I think we're also on live on Facebook. I do love questions. If you're hearing this as a replay, feel free to reach out to me if you have questions. I'm a member of the Facebook group, so if you tag me, I will see it, and feel free to ask me questions at any time. So I really hope for this to be a conversation. Hopefully we're opening the door to have a fun conversation to see what great things small business technology can do for all of our businesses. Okay. In the blurb, in the description of this workshop, I gave 2 objectives for this workshop. The first is to demystify follow-up software and apps. Again, I fully understand that not everyone in the group has the technical background that I do, so I'm really hoping to demystify these tools for you. And then also to give you some guidelines, some mindsets, and some initial steps to help you decide what the right tools are for you and your growing businesses, to help you grow your businesses and obviously help your clients and serve your clients as best that you can. So I have an agenda. It has 5 parts, I believe, that will help us meet those 2 objectives. So the first is I'm going to answer the question, why is business technology important? Share an interesting statistic here that can help us zero in on why it's important. Then I'm going to share some common technology mistakes and their solutions that I see that are too common with small business owners. The next is I'll address how can tech help you with your follow-ups? And then moving into how can you make the most of tech in terms of building and nurturing relationships, which is really the most important part of following up, are those relationships that you're building. And then last but not least, I'll share some next steps if you're interested in some of the additional resources that I have, or if you're interested in going a little bit deeper and working with me, I'll share an opportunity for you to do that as well. How does that sound? Sound good? Yes? All right. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions along the way. But if not, let's dive in. So why is business technology important? I found this fabulous study by World Market. It's a 2017 study, but I think their results are really valid today. So they were looking at what artificial intelligence, AI, and automation mean for work and the future of work. And I found this stat that I pulled out of it amazing. So it says 70% of business leaders report from spending anywhere from 45 minutes to 3 hours of an 8-hour workday on mundane tasks. That's a huge amount of time. And when you think about it, what would you do if you could eliminate those mundane tasks from your workday and free up anywhere from 45 minutes to maybe 3 hours of your day? What other great things could you do at that time? Well, what other amazing, because sometimes our follow-up tasks can be some of those mundane tasks. It can be a little bit repetitive and frustrating to get in there every day. And sometimes you're not only spending the time on the actual doing of the task, but you're spending time on the worrying of the task. I don't know if anyone can relate to that. And so take a moment and reflect how much time each day or each week you're spending on these tasks, because it really can add up. And the great thing about what we're going to talk about today is that you can claim some of that time back for yourself with the clever use of technology to help you remember what those tasks are, to not have to worry about them, and to help you complete some of those follow-up tasks as well. Okay, sound good? All right, awesome. But it's important to note, I am a tech lover. It's part of what I do. It's part of how I help people. And I truly do believe that your use of technology day to day can help you become more efficient, more effective, help you help more people in a high quality way. But it also can hurt. And it also, when used poorly, technology can add stress and frustration and anger, and sometimes even add some more mundane tasks. So I think it's important not only for us to discuss, why is technology important, the time and the energy that it can save for you, but also in the second agenda point, I want us to talk about what are some of the common mistakes and solutions to those mistakes that I see. Okay. So I'm going to run through my top 3 challenges that I've seen time and time again with my clients and some people and within my network in the small business world. And then I'll share with you the solutions to those mistakes. And some of them may be a little bit counterintuitive. At least people have told me they have been. So let's first run through the mistakes. So the common technology mistakes that I see, the number one common mistake is business owners coming and trying or purchasing software, purchasing technology, or running to a tool without having a clear vision of how they want their business to run to start with, right? This is the number one point that I hope that you get away from this conversation. The technology really supports your systems. You don't want to run to a tool like it knows everything for your business. Just like you wouldn't want to run to a stranger in the street and say, tell me what I need to do with my business. You don't want to run to a strange piece of technology and expect it to know how to run your business, right? The second mistake is even after you have your vision, trying to do it all right away. It takes learning curves. A lot of these tools, most of them, even the ones that are really well designed, there's a little bit of learning curve to get in there. And there's a little bit of time that you need to integrate it into your day-to-day life. So don't feel like, today is Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to implement all this new technology and my business is going to run super smoothly. Give yourself some time to transition out of the way you're doing things now and into a smoother way. And then the last piece is that what works for me is what works for them is what works for me. And often in networking groups and other masterminds, our colleagues and friends with the best intentions may recommend, oh, I found the best thing. It's so perfect for my business. You should try it. You should try it. And that's great. And we all typically have really strong intentions. But unless that person knows your vision, knows what you want for your business, then their tools may not be the best ones for you. So take that advice and look up and read and learn. Obviously, I'm not trying to tell you like, no, I'm not interested in anything you have to tell me. But take that with a grain of salt. Recognize, okay, that's great. What do you love about it for your business? What are the commonalities between our businesses and what are the differences? And that will really help you understand if the tools that people are absolutely head over heels with are actually the tools that you need for your business. So we talked through the mistakes. Let's talk through what the solutions are. The first one, I think, is most counterintuitive for some people, especially from a systems and technology expert like me. But it is to do it manually first. To think through how you want your business to run and to do it, even if it will take longer for you to handwrite out that email when you know that you can hire something or you could automate it, but do it manually at least once, if not a few times first, to make sure you've figured out how you want it to actually go. Then once you know how you want it to work, you can really start to optimize and automate with technology. The next is to start small and to prioritize. So instead of taking on your whole entire business and looking to automate it from front to end, think about one thing, like your follow-ups, like we'll talk about today. Start there and say, okay, I want to look at my follow-ups. And then after I look at my follow-ups, I might look at, my email list, and maybe I'll look at my marketing in other ways in social media, and then maybe I'll look at accounting, and then maybe I'll look at something else. But you don't have to start the whole business from scratch. Pick one thing that's most pressing, that's important. Say we'll talk about follow-ups, and start there and prioritize. And the last thing is to create systems that are tailored to you and your business. So the great thing about being parts of networking groups and communities like this is that we're going to learn from each other. You're going to learn from me. But I hope that you don't necessarily listen to me and say, oh, Ada said this, so this is what I have to do. But no, like take the parts that you resonate with, take the parts that are meaningful to you, and bring them into your business and into your life in a way that makes sense for you. I'm very much about tailoring information and tailoring insights to fit you. And it's the advice that I give my clients all the time. So make sure you're finding something that's tailored. Don't just say, oh, well, this kind of works for this other business. It's kind of like mine, so I'll just throw it on myself. One of the great benefits, in my view at least, about being a small business owner is that we really get to put ourselves in the world, and we really get to have our businesses reflect our vision, our deepest desires, how we want to show up in the world. And that's all unique. So I don't believe our systems should be exact copies of each other either. So take that time and really tailor what you're going to do to you and your business and your clients' needs. So big picture, all right? The big takeaway I'd love for you to say, and you're going to see this slide at least 2 more times in this talk, is that tech doesn't solve your problems. It supports your systems, and that your life will be so much easier if you have a vision for how you want your business to run. I'll call that a system, before you run to a tech tool to solve your problems. Okay, so you really want to know your systems and then apply the tech to those systems. Okay, so you want to know yourself and your business, try to avoid the bandwagon as much as possible, and stop and reflect before you take action. And that's really this combination is when the technology will open up all that time, right? From the previous study, maybe up to 3 hours a day for you when you do it in this order. So I want to show you a little chart that I discovered, that I've adapted, that really, I think, illustrates the benefits of technology. And so bear with me, it is a chart. I am an engineer, so so let's say that we're going to assume the vertical line, the y-axis, is how much time you've spent on things, and the x-axis, the horizontal line, is the number of times you've done something. So we're going to compare 2 business owners, the red business owner and the blue business owner. Okay, so the process starts where the red and blue business owner, they're in the same business and they're both chugging along. Every time they want to follow up with someone, they follow the same task, they open up their email, they send a note, repeat, repeat, repeat. Okay, and they get really good at it. Like, okay, yeah, now I understand when I want to follow up after a networking event. I know this is the type of email I want to send. I know I want to follow up with a text message 2 days after. I know that I want to, send them, get their birthday and send them a birthday card, etc. So they've tested things out. They know how they want their follow-up, for example, to be here. Okay, then something happens where the blue and the red diverge. Okay, so the blue person takes some time, and that's what this vertical line means. It means they've invested in tech. So they both spent time figuring out how they want their systems to work. The blue person invests, okay, while the red person doesn't, and the red person just keeps continuing doing what they're doing the way that they were doing it time after time after time. But that vertical investment means that moving forward, the blue person is more efficient. So instead of manually writing the text messages and writing the emails, they've maybe come up with some templates. And maybe after they meet someone, they can trigger an automation that automatically sends things away. Or maybe they've signed up for a service I know Michelle uses called Send Out Cards, and Send Out Cards can help them in sending out those cards, right? They don't have to remember, oh my gosh, I need to go to the pharmacy and get the card and it needs to look like this, right? So you can invest in technology and you'll save time each and every time moving forward you want to do that task. Whereas if the red colleague in this example doesn't invest in time, they're going to effectively lose time in every repetition, okay? That means they're going to be running to the pharmacy or they're going to be writing their emails manually when there were options for them to have saved time using different tech tools and services. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's important to think about it this way. There's always going to be that initial investment time or that initial time here at the beginning where you're learning it, you're figuring out what do I want to do? How do I want it to work? You're tailoring it to yourself and your business. And then once you know how you want things to run, you're going to invest. And then once you've invested and you know, have a clear picture of what you want, then you'll feel those benefits in saving that time over and over and over again. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a foundation of where I'm coming from, how I approach technology, and how not knowing your systems, not having figured out how you want things to run first can really lead to a lot of mistakes and challenges. So now that we've covered kind of the basis and you know where I'm coming from, let's dive in. How can tech really help you with your follow-ups? So there's many options. There are many different tools that you could use. You could have an address book. You could keep it simple. Google, Facebook, everybody has an address book. Your phone has an address book. You could use that to keep yourself organized. You could use a spreadsheet, depending on the size of your list. You could use a different type of database. You could use task management systems and project management systems. However, my recommendation for everyone that's very serious about growing a solid business, a large business that's really based on relationships and growing relationships, is to look into a customer relationship management system. Now, that being said, I still want you to do the manual stuff. I still want you to think through How do I want this to run? What kind of relationships do I want with people? How do I want to follow up? I want you to think through that stuff. But once you've thought it through, and I'll ask you some questions a little bit later to help with that, I want you to turn your attention to a customer relationship management system. So CRM stands for customer relationship management. And it typically, when it's used, it means a CRM system, a software, an app, or a tool. And the main purpose of these systems are to build relationships. Kind of like email's main purpose is to send messages, a CRM's main purpose is to help you understand your relationships, help you manage those relationships, and help you build those relationships. So a good CRM will help you manage your business interactions across platforms. That might mean through meetings, through email, through text messaging. It's a hub that holds all of those interactions in one spot. And it also allows you to manage those interactions with a variety of different people that you might interact with, a variety of different groups. We'll deal with clients, current clients, you may deal with potential clients, colleagues, suppliers, vendors, allies. You may have different groups of people that you're all building relationships with as you're growing your business. And a good CRM will help you manage the relationships with all of those people, because the relationships you have with those, each group may be very different. Okay? You can also, depending on how you set up your CRM, have a list of communication history. So let's say, oh my goodness, I haven't had a chat with Michelle in 4 months. How is she doing? You can pull her profile open and read things. You might be able to keep track of her birthday, and maybe, you know, does she have any pets, and does she have any children, and is she, what is her marital status? What other information you might want to keep on people to keep your relationships alive? You can build a profile about someone in your CRM. You also can keep track of a purchase history. You know, when was the last time I hired her or she hired me? And you also can use your CRMs to help you forecast sales moving forward. So if you have information about your potential clients, the clients that are moving through your sales funnel or sales pipeline, however you want to call it, your sales process, you can forecast like, oh, well, you know, I've been chatting with Ada. Ada is interested in this program. That program is this much per month. If you have a list of all your potential clients and what programs they're interested in, then your CRM can calculate how much money potentially you could earn by closing all of those deals and having all those people sign on with you. So it's a really powerful tool to get information about your relationships. Also, the status of those relationships, you know, are they cold? Are they, you know, are we keeping up? And then also the potential, how much money is out there? How much money have you earned this year? Not as well as your accounting software, of course, but it'll give you some information about the sales that you closed as well as the sales that you may earn. So overall, a CRM is all about building and nurturing solid relationships. And as I said in the introduction, that's why we're all here. We all know that that's important. So here are some questions I want to ask you. I've been doing a lot of talking. I'll take a moment and breathe and ask you some questions and do a mental note. You can count on your fingers or scribble them down if you want. How many times you say yes, okay? So do you find yourself ever forgetting to follow up with someone? Losing track of relationships, like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot to speak to this person. You know, wanting a quick summary or a history of your relationship with someone. Finding yourself writing the same email over and over and over again by changing someone's first name. Dear such and such, the same email. Wondering how you can provide better support. Finding it hard to keep track of potential clients and potential sales. Wanting to stay in better touch with your current and past clients, okay? If you said yes to any of these, a CRM can help you solve that problem. And the more times you said yes, probably the more time, even more you need a CRM in your business and in your life, okay? Because adding a customer relationship manager tool and setting it up correctly can help you address all of these points here, okay? So it really is my go-to. Now the challenge is that it can be hard to find and implement the right one. There are so many options at so many price points. You can find a great tool for free to start. You can find great tools at $1,000 a month and more. So there's lots of tools, and to help you figure out the difference between the tools, really it depends on what you need in your business. It goes back to what I said earlier and really stressing, what do you need to keep track of? Who are the people you want, and what is your system? What are you trying to keep track of? So Capterra is a service one of Capterra, GetApp, there's lots of services that list different tools that I like to reference from time to time. And it has a whole category on CRM software. And I show you this slide to bring to your attention when I pulled this up, that there were 545 different CRMs just listed in Capterra. So there are so many options. And how can you possibly pick between those? Well, what makes it super easy and gives you laser focus is when you know about yourself and your business, right? It's like going into a shopping mall and you're like, I need a dress. Okay, well, there are millions of dresses. Like, what size are you? What color? Is it formal? Is it not formal? You want to think about the same thing about software. It's not like, I need an app. Like, oh, okay, well, there are hundreds and hundreds. So you want to get very specific. And the way you do that is because you know what you want, okay? So hopefully that's introduced you to how technology can help you with your follow-ups and why I really love customer relationship managers and why I recommend them. But how can we, use this technology to make the most for building and nurturing our relationships? And so I bring us back before I dive into this is that tech doesn't solve your problems. It's going to support your systems. And in particular, given our conversations about follow-up today, it's going to support our follow-up systems. Okay, so before we can dive into the actual tech tool, we need to know what your follow-up systems are. So what are your follow-up systems? What do you need, your unique personal business, what does it need out of a CRM? And hopefully I've made it clear that it's not going to be the same for everyone. So I'm going to pose some questions to you, and I'm going to give you a moment to really think about it. And for those of you in the recording, feel free, or if any of you live want to watch the recording later, if I go a little bit too fast, feel free to come back here and pause it and really think about these questions. So what is your unique? Because I believe every business is unique. High quality, because to me, I feel all systems should impact and influence and put out high quality. But what is your unique high quality follow-up system, right? How do you want to build relationships? What does it mean to build a relationship with you in your business? How do you want to follow up? I'll go through all the questions and I'll pause for about a minute. How often do you want to follow up? And is it the same for everyone? Previously on the CRM slide, I talked about potential clients, current clients, allies, vendors, suppliers. Do you want to follow up with everyone the same? Maybe, maybe not. How does it vary from these different groups? What feels good, exciting, and natural, which is so important. I've said many times, and as Michelle introduced me, I'm a tech person. I love tech, I love automation, I love this stuff. But I've worked with clients that are like, you know what, Ada, I want to handwrite out greeting cards. That's great, but there's still tools that we could use that can remind you automatically, so you don't have to remember to write that card. That could mail you the card in advance, so you just have to write it down, right? Even if you want to do something that's non-technical, that's high touch, there are still tools and systems that can support you in what you want. But the important thing to start with is knowing what you want. So I'm going to give you a minute now to make a bulleted list and think about, what is your unique high quality follow-up system? Okay. How was that for everyone? I know everyone's muted. Was it good? Michelle's got a big smile on. It's important to start here, this juicy vision stuff, which is fun. And I always love helping people take this vision and then turn it into reality. You don't need to know what tools specifically. You don't need to know their features. But if you have this information, someone like me can help you turn that into reality, which is really exciting. So it's important to take the time and map it out. We gave you a minute today, and if you're watching the recording, you might have given yourself longer, but take the time. These are some little images I've made. Either sometimes I have client sessions in person, sometimes I've done them for myself. This is literally what I do. You could write it all down with, on a sheet of paper. You could take Post-it notes and organize yourself. Take the time and map it out and enjoy that time, because it's this vision on how you're going to treat your clients and your colleagues and the people that are part of your business so well, and build a really great relationship with them. So the first step is to define your workflow. I'll give you this little example. I wrote a blog post. I wrote a little series about following up in my blog last year. And so you can read the article if you go to my website, operationsally.com/follow-up, and you'll read how exactly I built this little workflow here. But when I work with my clients now, I don't use Post-it notes. I've actually designed this custom set of icons. These are these icons that I've designed to help you understand and help you work through your workflow. So this is what I've done. So here's a quick little example. Let's say you meet someone. The first step is you've made a connection. So during that connection, you're going to take some notes. Then after you've taken your notes, you might add some required tasks to your to-do list. And then you want to enter in a form when you want to follow up, and then you'll have a reminder when it's time to follow up, right? So this is the process actually at a very high level that I use personally. And what I'm pointing out here is it's important to think through the steps, like what's involved. And if you can't do it on your own, obviously someone like me can help you, but what is involved in, okay, it starts when I meet someone, I want to keep up with them. What do I need to do? Okay, well, I'm going to take a note. I'm going to add a task to my task list. I'm going to do something that tells me when I need to follow up, and then I'm going to wait to get that follow up, right? So once you have this workflow, once I know the vision from you, how you want it to run, and okay, and I want to, when it's a client, I want to wait 3 weeks to talk to them. When it's a vendor, I want to wait 6 months to talk to them, etc. When you can tell me that, maybe not in this order, but if you can tell me it in a paragraph, I can build you this chart. Once you know that, we can do something really exciting. So before I dive into that, I'll just quickly make 2 notes. So this connection could be either a first-time meeting or a follow-up meeting. Like, this is the first time I've met someone, or I'm following up with them and I want to follow up again. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just that first time. And then the second thing is here, when you follow up the follow-up frequency, as I mentioned just a minute ago, it doesn't have to be the same for every person or every type of person. You can have different frequencies for different groups. So this is my exciting part. Once you have the workflow and you've shared it with me, or you've articulated it for yourself, you've figured out what you need, then you can match the steps to software. And this is when the real power can happen. The automation can come into your life. And you'll also be amazed at how many different options you can do this with, right? So I love a tool that's called ActiveCampaign. That's what this little blue logo is. And I know for certain ActiveCampaign can do every single step here, right? But I am an ActiveCampaign user. And this goes back to making it personalized and tailored to yourself. But instead of that, I really love Google Docs for taking notes. For some reason, I can't really explain it. I love it. I love it more than ActiveCampaign, I'm not gonna lie. So what I do is I take notes in Google Docs, but then I do the following steps in ActiveCampaign, right? You may come to me and say, oh, I don't want to pay for ActiveCampaign. I'm not interested in paying for anything. What can I do for free? I'm like, well, depending on how you set up your Trello account, we could set up this for you for free, where you take some notes in Google Docs and you follow it up with Trello. And you're like, okay, that's cool. But I really like Trello in general. Okay, well, maybe we can do it all in Trello. Okay, that's cool. What about something else? Well, do you use HubSpot? Because maybe HubSpot can help you out here. Oh, yeah, but I want to do it all in one tool. It's like, all right, well, let's set up HubSpot to do everything for you. So my point here is, as you notice through all these examples, I went through 4 different software platforms in different combinations, but the underlying system stayed the same. There were always the same 5 steps that happened in that order. So this goes back to what I was saying before. The tech isn't going to solve your problem. It's going to support that follow-up system, because you could have, with yourself, taken notes on a sheet of paper, had a paper to-do list, reminded yourself on a paper calendar, and watch that paper calendar every day, right? But if the tech will automate that, it will release that burden, remove those mundane tasks that we said earlier. But it does that because you know your system, you know how you want things to run. Okay, don't leave it up to some people you've never met in Silicon Valley or some other place to tell you how to run your business. You know how you want to run your business. So it's up for you to decide what you want to do on your own, maybe with the help of a coach, etc., and then identify how the tech can support you in that. So that wraps up, how can you use your tech to make the most of building and nurturing relationships? So I want to talk through a couple next steps. If you enjoyed what you've heard from me, if you enjoy my approach, let me be your ally. I'd be happy to help you on your journey. So the first is you can download, I have all these links also at the end, but if you're watching the recording and you want to stop and pause this and go there, you can do it now. But I do have a guide, a free guide, a guide to selecting small business software. You can feel free to download that and use that as you wish. You can also work together. One of the things that I've done for 2019, and I'm so excited, is I've started a partnership with a great firm that's called Hire Katie. And the great thing about the ladies at Hire Katie is they are implementation experts. So not only do they know the tools well, but they also will implement on your behalf. So if you're interested in not only working with someone like me to help you map out your workflow and map that to software, but also then hand it off to an amazing team of ninjas that will also implement it on your behalf and help you manage it on your behalf, then I really recommend you check out the partnership that I have with Hire Katie. It's called the Systems Overhaul, and we'll do just that. We'll have a session and chat through what you want your workflow to be. I will map it out for you real time using those icons that I've created. Then I'll recommend, based on your needs and your budget, etc., the tools that you need to match that workflow. And then if you want, the Hire Katie team will implement it for you. So I'm through the moon because I've never wanted to do implementation. So I'm so excited to have met these ladies, and we work together so well. So if you're interested, I recommend you check that out. Okay, so thank you for your time. I know we have a little bit of time for questions. I'd love for people here to unmute, and I'd love to hear from anyone else that's hearing the recording later. Again, if you're interested in my series, it's a 3-blog series on follow-up. You can find that at OperationsAlly/follow-up. If you're interested on the free guide, feel free to download that. And if you're interested in working together, I recommend you check out my partnership with Hire Katie. Thanks so much. And I think I'll stop sharing and I'll open it up to questions if that's okay with you, Michelle.
Absolutely. Wow. Oh my God. Like mind blown. I love when people see, this is why I do what I do, because I love to experience people who do what they love, because there's something about when you love it, the way you explain it, everyone understands it. Oh. And I don't know if everyone here, if Barbara and Tracy would agree, but you've explained something to me so clearly and concisely and succinctly. I'm excited.
Thank you.
About the possibility of upgrading. This is what she told me she's gonna do for me. Upgrading my follow-up, right? And then I told her when she sent me that email, I want to watch Beyonce's video. It's like, you need to have an intro, right? Let me upgrade you, right? But yes, so
I love that.
And just thinking about, as we advance, right now in the marketplace, the ability for people to stay relevant and do all the things is no longer, there's no longer the capacity for it like it used to be. Right? If you want your business to grow and thrive and, next level, where you're going to need assistance. And sometimes these are the best ways to start, right? If you want to eventually have a team, well, what is the team going to do, right? It's going to run your system. So you might want to know how to do it yourself. So I really appreciate what you shared. And I'd love to hear more about, because I never, and I'm a vision person, so I love when I get to see vision in a new perspective, but about the vision of the follow-up, that was just magnificent. Right? Because again, it's just another way to implement that clarity, right? How do I clearly, when I think about when I meet someone all the way to when I treat them, and how I treat them, that was, incredible. So
spectacular.
I just want to say thank you. I can't wait to share this out to the tribe. And if y'all have any questions, I'm gonna just stop, buttering her biscuit right now and let y'all I'll let you.
Yes.
So I have a question.
Yes,
You
Barbara.
work with teams and helping them use the systems and softwares that they currently have.
Yes.
With a small team, and one of the things that happens a lot is our boss goes, "Hey, here's this new thing, do it." And then a lot of us are like, "What is that?" So any tips on that, on helping that, like getting the teams acclimated to, okay, this is a new system, this is why we want to use it, or is it more along the lines of something else that I'm not even thinking of?
No, that's definitely work that I've done, and I love that work as well. I do what's referred to as a tool audit. So sometimes you can, and it's funny, you can list out all the tools that you use, and you'd be surprised. I would be surprised if it was under 10, you know, from email and your phone, on the apps on your phone, and task management and all these things, and accounting. You'd be surprised how many tools there are. So I can help people at the starting stage select the tools, but I really love most of all doing these tool audits, because I can help you look at all the tools that you're using, identify the ways that they integrate with each other, if they do integrate with each other, and ways that you could use them to meet your vision, to meet your goals, in ways that you haven't already been using them. And that makes me so excited, because when you're looking to acquire new software, often you have to make a financial investment. But here it's like, no, you pay for this every month, and you're missing out on all this good, juicy stuff. So I love doing those tool audits. And so one tip that I guess I could give you here to think about it is to go through and write down, you know, here are all the tools that we're using, and think about, why do I use them? And you'd be surprised. Sometimes you find redundancy. Sometimes you find gaps. Like, oh, you know, I take it from here, and then we have to copy and paste 4 times over there to get it over there. That'll be a gap. And then sometimes it's like, yeah, we paid for this, but we only use it for this one little thing. I wonder if any of our other tools can do it. So that gives you a little bit of the thinking that I bring into it when it comes to the audit. But working with small teams is something I adore, and I really love helping people you know, recognize the most of their tools. And one thing, depending on your relationship with your supervisor, that you could do when he or she says, here's a new tool, you could say, well, you know, how did you envision us using it? Because where I come from with tools, you know, it's probably why I love Michelle's work so much, is it really is vision based. So, you know, that's great. Slack's great. Slack's awesome. But how do you envision us using it every day? Like, why?
I like that.
Why not Google Hangouts? Or, you know, did we really need this? Is it even helpful, like, to be, you know, messaged all the time? Slack is a great tool, but in some work environments it could be helpful. In some work environments it could be hurtful. So to think through, you know, why are we bringing these things on? Because often, very clever, I've been on way too many software sales calls to know that software salespeople are just salespeople on another level. They are amazing. And they can talk people into new features.
Oh, they will dazzle your ignorance. Oh, right. I need that. Oh, I didn't know. Oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, I'll take 2.
Exactly. So they are amazing at what they do. But sometimes, you know, they can get you purchasing things you don't need. So I always like going into a sales call, and then sometimes I sit on sales calls with my clients, and I usually send the sales rep, here's what we're looking for before the call even starts. So you're directing the sales call, as opposed to them showing you all the bells and whistles that you might not even need. Be interested, obviously, because they might have something you don't know about. But to start off, like, here are the core things we need. And if you don't have them, have a fabulous life. But we're going to go find someone that does. So
thank you.
Yeah, hopefully that addressed your question. It wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
you addressed a couple different answers. So perfect.
And Barbara, feel free to introduce Ada to your boss, right?
Yeah.
This is that great opportunity to add value to the team that you're a part of by saying, like, I participated in this and I immediately thought of you. I immediately thought of how we can next level what we're doing, right? So you make that introduction and show her the value. I'm big on that, right? Because it's not an accident that you're having that experience and then you're on this call. It all, you know, and that's where the vision and the clarity of the clearly defined purpose and vision takes you, and everything just comes to you. right? So this is perfect for me because as I continue to grow and expand, this is, you know, my next level. I'll be honest, right? I told we, you know, acting like we don't all grow and expand is ridiculous, right? So as you grow and expand, there's always pain. But the pain, when you face it and you say yes and you embrace it, it allows you to, you know, level up and be that leader and that influencer that everyone or many people greatly desire. I won't say everyone, but many people greatly desire. So.
Yes, excellent, excellent. I know that we're out of time.
Yeah, we're at time. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, you know, we have like one more question because I know, Tracy, if you have a question, I want it to be addressed.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I want to say, Ada, I've missed you.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you too. And I need you. I need you. Girl, like Michelle said, you know, the sale, and like you said, they're so really great at selling you all this software and different things and apps.
Yeah.
And girl, I wasn't even like, I'll take 2. I'm like, I'll take 5. And then I'm spending hours and hours, and instead of wasting 3 hours a day, it's like 9 hours a day. And yeah, so I really need you.
Yeah, so let's talk. We can connect through the group if you're in the group. I think we also have each other's contact information. So let's connect. But anyone in the recording, feel free to ping me in the group because, you know, I'm a member of the group and it's a great group to be a member of. And then if you like the links on the video, you also can reach out that way.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm a hotel GM by day, and then I have my life coaching practice. You know, in the time. So follow-ups, I forget. Emails, I forget. You know, I'm writing new things for everybody, and it's just, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A lot of time.
So I hit like 6 points out of the 7. So yes.
Well, let's do it then. Let's do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for having me.
Oh, this has been absolutely fabulous. So love when I get the prompting and just to get to see the expertise and the level of service that you offer was a gift. Right. So I'm looking forward for the ladies who get to watch this. Barbara is the Facebook group moderator. So we're looking for a way to start to house these and make them accessible to the membership. If you're watching this, there are going to be more and more of the ladies coming on sharing because this is a group of experts. I know there's a lot of wisdom because we all attract like-minded people, and that's what exists. So I want to say thank you again for being, you know, our second, you know, we had the inaugural 2 weeks again. This is number 2. And thank you. This is just so awesome. Ladies, you have an amazing day. I'm going to stop the recording.